Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with KEDY TV, and I tell you, I'm always very excited when I have a chance to interview, but I've been waiting for this interview for quite the while, and that's Dr. Cesar Morales, who is the superintendent of Oxnard School District, or maybe some people call it Oxnard Elementary School District. But we've finally made it happen. Yeah. My gosh, you're real. Yeah, you're here.
Well, I'm glad to be here and finally be interviewed and have an opportunity to speak to the community about all the great things going on in the Oxnard School District.
You know, and everybody will just take a short while. If you had to give us maybe 30 seconds, a little bit about your background, because people, I know you can dance, but that's a whole different segment. But can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background?
Well, I'm the son of immigrant parents. My dad's first job in America was here in Oxnard, working as a migrant worker in the fields, and he did worked in Oxnard, Santa Maria, Salinas, and Stockton, and did the loop of labor, so to speak. And after 3 years of that, he saved enough money to go back to Mexico to marry my mom, and then they came back and started their life in Los Angeles and Venice, and later in the majority of my life in Inglewood, California, where I grew up. I've always visited the community of Oxnard prior to working as a superintendent, because I have probably around 100 relatives here in Oxnard. So
quite the entourage.
So I do have quite the group. So I'm very comfortable with the community of Oxnard, and now as a superintendent, I'm just very excited to serve a community that is close to me and that I love. And I'm very proud of the fact that I'm living the American dream, so to speak. My dad's first job in Oxnard was working the fields, and my first job in Oxnard is as superintendent of the school district. My family and I are very proud of that, and I know it comes with a big burden. I want to make sure that we do a great job for the district and for our community.
Well, that's what we're here for, because we know you're doing a lot of great things, and the Oxnard School District is so significant because you're dealing with grassroots. I mean, you're catching them when they're kindergartners and taking them all the way into an elementary adolescent stage. What would you say that the three most things, and I know I'm limited to you here a little bit, but what are the three most exciting things you think you have going on right now as a superintendent with this district?
Well, I want to just quickly mention that you mentioned that it starts in kindergarten. We're very proud of the fact that we have a very strong preschool program that serves 1,000 students, and we have many students that are on a waiting list that we could serve if we had the space and the funding for it. Definitely early literacy and early exposure to schools is one of the keys to success in the education pipeline. In regards to one of the three top initiatives that we have, I think right now definitely we're focusing on the implementation of the Common Core standards, which are the new blueprint of standards here in California, as all schools in California and many across the nation have embarked on that journey, where the state exposes to all the new standards all at once, as opposed to a steady rollout. So it shocked the system for the last 3 years, but I want to give kudos to all of our teachers who've been undergoing a lot of professional development to be prepared to deliver these new content standards, and to do it in a new way where they're facilitating the learning experience and creating opportunities for kids for that applied learning, and increasing their critical thinking skills, which is great. Second, we do have a focus right now in all of our schools, developing a strand focus that supports STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We have 3 magnet middle schools that are being very successful, and students can enroll at those 3 middle schools in an open enrollment process. So we're very excited about that. Our K-8 schools are thriving and all have a dual language immersion program option for students and parents that want their children to learn both English and Spanish simultaneously, along with programs that are our sheltered English program and our transitional bilingual program that have always been part of our district. But we're very happy to offer parents K-5 schools, K-8 schools, and 6-8 magnet schools. So we feel that we're giving a menu of options for our community right now. And our K-5 schools have also developed strand focus as well. And some of them, for example, are focusing on environmental science and visual and performing arts. Others may be focusing on environmental science and health education, and a variety of things. This allows us to have a focus that anchors some of the extra activities or applied learning experience that the students can have. We want every learning and the experience to be engaging and give students an opportunity to work with one another as students, because we know in the workplace in the future, it's not only the skills that are important, but the ability to collaborate and think critically in a group. That are things that we tend to do in the workplace on a daily basis. Definitely, the third thing is we have a thriving program right now where we're reconstructing 3 schools. We're very close to finishing a reconstruction of Harrington Elementary School. And that should be done by the end of this calendar year, and we'll transition students from the old campus to the new campus. We're very happy that we're literally building on the existing campus right now, and we didn't have to move kids to an interim housing location. So we're doing this very efficiently. And we're very happy and proud of the plan and the progress. I encourage anyone in the community to please take a drive down Gisler and see the great work of the new Harrington Elementary School site. And also on Gisler, we're just waiting for the Division of State Architects state approval for us to be able to begin the Elm Elementary School reconstruction, which is on Elm. And then this year as well, we're waiting to be able to rebuild Lemonwood K-8 school. In Lemonwood, the Lemonwood community has been waiting for quite some time.
Yes, they have.
To have their school rebuilt, and it's in a very old condition, and we're very happy that that project was set to take place in 2017-18, but this last year I worked with the school board and we've accelerated that timeline, even though it's going to mean that we're going to be wrapping up Harrington and we're going to be starting both Elm and Lemonwood elementary reconstruction projects this year. And at Lemonwood and Harrington, in addition to the regular school, we're also building early education wings, which will give us the option to either house our preschool program or give us the flexibility to expand into more kindergarten classes if our growth continues to be what it is. And that all happened after this last year. We worked on over 20 classrooms at Fremont Middle School, Haydock Middle School, and our K-8 schools that we're converting into K-8. We made sure that their science classrooms had the appropriate equipment and furniture that was mobile, that would facilitate collaborative groups during the teaching, and we made sure that all of them were outfitted with new monitors, display monitors throughout the room. So technically in those classrooms, there isn't a front of the classroom. It can be any one of the walls, and teachers are able to project information through their iPads. Definitely, that leads me to also wanting to share that in the Oxnard School District, every student is issued an iPad tablet device.
Impressive.
To work in the classroom and at home. Our board was very visionary in the fact that not only did we want to make technology accessible at the school sites, but also give them an opportunity to take it home and also continue that learning, continue the work. And in doing so, I know there was a lot of questions. We have 70% of our students have Wi-Fi at home. Mm-hmm. So that means 30% don't. But there are a lot of things that you can do with the technology without having connectivity.
Exactly.
We've also been very pleased that a lot of the local businesses in Oxnard, if they didn't already have Wi-Fi, they've added it because they know we have 18,000 devices in the community,
right?
And they're being used. And I'd like to think that not only has it been a great learning tool, but it's probably helped connect them more to the community. And I look forward in the future to work collaboratively. I know I've met with city staff, and any chance I see an elected official, I always request citywide Wi-Fi. I think if it's available in other cities around in California, I don't see why Oxnard couldn't be another city that has it. But those are some key things. The
Very well articulated.
Yeah, the Common Core, definitely our STEAM initiatives, and definitely our building program. And if I may, I'm just going to add the fact that we're a growing school district, mm-hmm. and in the next few years, beyond reconstructing some of our older schools, and we're very proud of those building programs that are all on the south side of Oxnard, that is an area that hadn't been addressed in quite some time. We have the need to build 2 new elementary schools and another middle school. And that's a challenge that we have because we're growing at a rate of anywhere from 250 to 500 students a year. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to keep up, and we already have some school sites saturated with relocatable classrooms. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we enough is enough, and
True.
We in some areas don't even have a sufficient playground space. So we need to make sure that we have adequate facilities for our kids in Oxnard.
It's amazing how just important what you just said, and one of the things that I wanted to build just quickly on is business community involvement. So you would like to encourage and send a message out if there are businesses out there that really have a passion for education in this age group to step up and call Sylvia and set up a time.
Definitely. Our business community is very important. I think our Oxnard Chamber of Commerce is very strong here in Oxnard. Nancy Lindholm is a great leader in the community and very dynamic, and I know she's helped introduce us to several people, and our chamber recently started an education coalition, that's advisory group that's very key. Definitely, if there are any businesses out there that want to partner with us, any of our schools in particular, or our district in general, give us a call and we'll set up an appointment, and definitely we'll get the ball moving, because ultimately our students need to be engaged with the business community because we want the jobs in this area to be for our kids in the future. And when they go off to college, I want them to be able to come back and make this community, thrive.
Alumni. You heard it straight from the man, so let's do it. Just the other aspect that you made me think is Bob Allen, my executive producer, and I are always talking about collaboration. So do you think the collaboration with City Council of Oxnard is a priority in terms of talking and hearing both sides?
Definitely. We've reached out to them numerous times this last year. I've had the pleasure of meeting a few times with our city manager, Greg Nyhoff, which I think is off to a great start. And I know things are a little uphill right now, but I'm confident that the city of Oxnard is en route to straightening out what needs straightening out and moving forward on things that are community oriented and community minded. I know in March I thought it was great when they had their community meeting and people came out, very strong showing, and I was very glad to see that the community responded to supporting programs that benefit the youth, and specifically after school hours. For many households that have two parents working, and some of them not getting home until 5 or 6 p.m., that means after school there's that 3-hour period where a child, unless they have a grandparents or aunts and uncles that are looking after them, if they're not part of a program after school, what are they doing? And there's some students that are resilient and independent and can handle that lack of structure during that time. But for others, they would benefit from a sense of belonging, of being part of a sports program, an after-school program, whether it be city or school or community run. I am very happy of the partnership that our district has with our after-school scholars program, where it's part of the after-school ACES grant funding program that we get from the state, and we're the leading agency for that. However, we partnered with the city to have city staff help us run it with our staff that works with our students after school at all of our school sites. And we're always looking to see how we can improve in this program. But it's an amazing part of our district. They not only get academic help and tutoring for things that they may need, but more importantly, they get access to sports, and special projects, projects using technology. They have field trips. They get experiences that they enjoy together as a group with peers in a supervised manner. And parents who have their children in the program have consistently given us rave reviews on the program. And I'd like to give kudos to the person who leads it on our end, Miss Ginger Shea, who does an outstanding job. Definitely worth a future show in and of itself.
You just arrange it, we'll show up.
But definitely the city and the relationship that we have with them is very important. We're all serving the same community.
No, and I love it. You mentioned that city meeting, and I remember that's when we finally connected, and that's when what I learned about that you're a family person, because you were just ready to have a baby or just had a baby. So, I know you're a husband, you're a father, you're a superintendent, you're a leader, and you're just a well-rounded person, and family is just real important to you, because it sounds like you had some world-class parents as well.
Yeah, we blessed, my wife and I. We grew our family through adoption on February 20th of this year, and we worked with an agency, and we were part of an open adoption, and we matched with a birth mother, and God blessed us with a baby daughter. We were there at the birth on February 20th here at Ventura Hospital. It turned out it was local, and my life has been different ever since.
And you're still smiling too.
And I'm still smiling. We love having a baby girl. Her name is Valentina. And
Beautiful.
We're very excited, of course. So, you know.
Well, just in wrapping up, I said during our calisthenics that I'm just such a big fan of Oxnard School District. And like I said, there's a list of people that I mentioned. They're too big, first of all, but if I mention them, I would die right after they watch the video. But thank you so much for supporting this gentleman. I appreciate you, and if there's anything we can do at Katie White TV just to support you, we're here for you. We got your back.
Thank you for interviewing to the community of Oxnard. Parents, we need you to continue to be involved in your children's education. Please not only go to all your parent conferences, but go to the meetings with the principal if possible. If you are working and you can't make it, get information from a neighbor who is attending. The thing is about being engaged. If you have access to the internet, please go on to your school's websites, and we'll definitely stay involved. I'd also like to continue to thank our school board for supporting our school district in a very big way every year, and they're always accessible to the community as well, and like to hear anything, have any questions for them about our district, or just making sure that we also take the time to let our teachers, administrators, and staff know that they're doing a great job with our kids. And I think we need to look at the glass half full. We're on our way there, and we're preparing our kids to the future to succeed in college and career. So till next time.
Yeah, and that's, well, he just took it out of my mind, but the website, oxnardsd.org.
Yes.
Look it up because you look up at the school. So with that, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with Good Morning Oxnard. Until next time, as he said.